Hi, my name is Lainey Anderson, and I'm a junior in Wood River High School. This is my proposition constructive speech. So, if everybody's ready, then I will begin. Wait. Okay, now I'll begin. Jails and prisons are designed to break human beings, to convert the population into specimens in a zoo. Obedient to our keepers, but dangerous to each other. Angela Davis. No matter what crime a person has committed, it is not right for them to be sexually abused or racially discriminated. Prisons are messy things. They are used for means of intimidation, and cruel treatment is allowed to happen within them rather than them being used as the correctional facilities that they were designed to be. Horrible things happen inside of prisons, and there are many other better alternatives to imprisoning people. For these reasons and many more, I must stand in firm affirmation of the following resolution. This House believes that prisons should be abolished. I'm defining the abolishment of prisons as the prison abolition movement does, which says that the amount of prisons that we are using should be reduced, and sending people to prison should be used only as a last resort for really high crimes, such as murder. I reserve the right to define any other terms as necessary throughout the round. Contention 1. Prisons are flawed. Prisons, as we have them, are a flawed system. People inside of them are suffering, and the problems being caused within these prisons are outweighing the benefits. Prison Abolition UK in 2013 writes that a very brief introduction to the prison system in the UK shows that 72% of male and 70% of female sentenced prisoners suffer from 2 or more mental health disorders. In the last decade, women's prison population has gone up by 33%, and 2/3 being imprisoned for non-violent offenses. Over half has suffered domestic violence, and 1 in every 3 of these women has experienced sexual abuse. 66% of women in prison have dependent children under 18, and it is estimated that 17,700 children are separated from their mothers by imprisonment. Over a quarter of the UK prison population is also from a minority ethnic group. What this is going to say is that prisons are full of problems, and the system is flawed, and it is no longer a justice system, but a place where women are being sexually abused, people with mental health conditions have to survive without help, and racial discrimination of the minorities is completely acceptable. Contention 2, better options. Prison Abolition and Alternatives from Prison Justice in 2008 writes that imprisonment should be used as a last resort. The presumption should be against its use. Before any offender is incarcerated, the prosecution should bear the burden of proving it is an evidentiary hearing, that no other alternative exists. An equal burden should be required for the denial of revocation of good time, probation, parole, which really are only other ways of imposing imprisonment. United Nations Alternatives to Imprisonment in 2007 talks about Tokyo's choice of punishment and how these are better and more effective ways than imprisonment. Some of these different ways of punishment are verbal sanctions, such as reprimand and warning, conditional discharge, status penalties, economic sanctions, and monetary penalties, such as fines and day fines, confiscation or an expropriation order, restitution to the victim or compensation order, suspended or deterred sentences, probation and judicial supervision, a community service order, referral to an attendance center, house arrest, any other mode of non-institutional treatment, and some combinations of any of the measures listed above. Families Against Mandatory Minimums in 2013 explains that there are many other and better options to imprisonment, such as drug courts, probation, community corrections, halfway houses, home confinement, or electric home monitoring, public shaming, fines and restitutions, community service, sex offender treatment and civil commitment, mental health courts, restorative justice, and boot camp. Not only are these better options for the prisoners, but they're saving taxpayers' money and strengthening families and communities and protecting the public by the reduction of crime. In conclusion, prisons are flawed, and the people inside of them are being harmed and not protected. It's true that these people are criminals, but most of the crimes committed are not as extreme as murder, and even when they are murdered, they should be sent to prisons, as I defined earlier. And for these reasons and many more, I encourage you to vote for the proposition. Thank you very much.